this way. A over sine A equal to B over sine B. I have B here. B is 10 over sine 120. Sine of 120. All right, then I'll solve for A. And by the way, my sine A 45 degrees, so I can write 45 degrees there immediately. So A over sine 45 degrees is equal to 10 over sine 120. Sine of 120 is in the second quadrant. All students take calculus. All students take calculus. Sine is positive in the second quadrant. The reference angle to 120 is 60. That's 180 minus 120. So the reference angle is 60. Okay, so I can just, I already know that sine 60 is 1/2. So I am going to write, let me still write sine 120 here that way. Okay, now solve for A. So now that I'm solving for A, I have 10 multiplied sine 45 degrees over sine 120. So sine 45 degrees, we already know is root 2 over 2. So root 2 over 2 right here. Sine 60 is root 3 over 2. I hope you still remember. If you don't remember, you go and check your special right triangles. So reference angle in the second quadrant is 60. Sine of 60 is root 3 over 2. In the second quadrant, sine is positive, so no change of signs. Then I can multiply the numerator and denominator. See, this simplification, you can do it any way you like. Any way you want to do it, that's good. Okay, but I like to clear the, so I want to multiply the numerator and denominator by 2. So my A is equal to numerator 10 multiply root 2 over 2, multiply everything here by 2, divided by root 3 over 2 multiplied by 2. So I think this is the way I like to clear fractions. This will go with this, and this will go with this. So now in the numerator, this implies, A implies 10 root 2 over root 3. Whether I'm told or not, I already know that I should not leave a radical in the denominator. So I have to rationalize the denominator. So I'll bring down that and rationalize. So A is equal to 10 root 2 multiply root 3 over root 3 times root 3. All right, so I rationalize the denominator, and I have 10 root 6 in the numerator, 10 root 6 over 3. And that's all I can do. I'm told to leave my answer in exact form. So that is what I can do. Okay. So the next question now is going to be solve the triangle. Solving a triangle in, of course, you know, a triangle has 3 sides and 3 angles. Most of the time you're given only 3 properties, and you're told to find the rest. So I'm going to clear any questions so far. Can you see the board? Somebody? Yes or no? Can you see the board?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Any question?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Now let's go to question number 6. We want to solve the kind of question you will have in the test. There are some questions, you know, when you see them, you know, there are, because a test is still going to be like trigonometric test. That's why we want to make sure we cover the things that are, if somebody says, did you do trigonometry? They ask you questions that make sure you did trigonometry. Okay, so in number 6, we are given an acute triangle, and we are given angle between. We're given 2 angles, and we can find the missing angle. This time, they did not ask us to leave our answer in the exact form. That means we can use our calculator to simplify. Okay, so I can just quickly get my calculator and find the missing angle. Find that missing angle. So I'm going to clear. So I have 180. Angle sum of a triangle is 180 minus 59. They are in degrees, minus 65. When I hit enter, I have 56. So the missing angle, which is angle A, is 56. 56. So the missing angle is 56. Okay. Now, the next thing I want to do is, first of all, they told me to find, say, determine the remaining sides and angles. So another way of saying solve the triangle. Whenever you hear solve the triangle, you know you'll find, so to find all the 6 properties, all the missing sides and angle, solve the triangle. So they didn't tell me, so I just found one. This is, everybody see, if you're told to solve a triangle, you're expected to have 3 answers. So then the first answer I found is 56 degrees. So the measure of angle A is 56 degrees. Make yourself a box or a circle. Make yourself a box or a circle. Then whenever you find any missing angle or side, you put it in there. Because see, if you scatter it, if you're, I know the computer is marking your paper this time, but sometimes you give it to a teacher to mark, and they cannot be looking for your answers everywhere. So please organize your answer in a circle or a rectangle. So okay, now, so I'm looking for one of the sides. I got to find all of them though. So I'm given only one side. Because I'm given side A, I can start with A over sine A. And I am not given any other side, but I am given both of the angles. So I can use either C or B. So I can say C over sine C. All right. So now I plug in what I know. Okay, I just plug in what I know. If I like, I can solve for C immediately. So I can actually say C sine A is equal to A sine C. And then I will, because I'm looking for C, I divide both sides by sine A. Okay, and this cancels. So C, small letter C. I'm talking about the side C. So the side C is A. What is my A? 11 meters. So they kind of told my answer should be in meters. 11 multiplied by sine C. Sine C, actually, where is my C? Sine 59 degrees all over sine A. Sine A, okay, yes, sine 59 degrees all over sine A, and sine A is 56 degrees. Okay. Okay. Now I will throw that into my calculator and find the final answer. So I am going to get all those in my calculator. I'm going to clear, and I'm working in degrees. So I can put my mode in degree, even though I don't think it makes a lot of, but I'm going to put my mode in degree because the angles are in degree. If the angles are in radian, then I will put my mode in radian. So now I'm ready to find the value of C. I work with the numerator first. 11 multiplied by sine of 59 degrees plus parentheses. I'll enter, then divide my answer with sine 56 degrees, sine 56 degrees, and then I clear my close parentheses. I hit enter. Of course, I'm looking for a distance. So the distance cannot be negative. So if I cannot find my answer to be negative, then somebody screwed up. If my answer is negative, somebody screwed up. All right, so C, let me see how many decimal points did that want me to do my answer. That will tell me to leave my answer. Round, do not round until the final answer, then round to the nearest 100, 2 decimal places. Round to the nearest 100. So 2 decimal places. So the value of sine C is 11.37. 11.37. I'll come over here. C is equal to 11.37 meters. Everybody look, this is very important. Organize your work. That way it will not be messed up. Okay, so now I found that I need to find B also. A is given to me. Okay, so let me go and find, so I just find C. Now I need to find B. All right. So I'm going so that I will have some kind of, I'm going to clear. Come on. All right. So I'm going to use sine rule again to find the. So this is what is called solving. You're told to find all the misses, then you are told solving the triangle. So I'm looking for C over sine C is equal to, then I can use any of the sides. I can say A over sine A or B over sine B. A over sine A. Okay, then I plug in what I already have. I should have only one unknown after plugging in. I should have only one unknown after plugging in. All right, so C over sine C. Okay, sine, this is my C here. Sine C is sine 59 degrees. Sine 59 degrees is equal to A. A is 11 over sine A, sine of 56 degrees. Then I'll isolate C. Then I isolate C. So now I have C is equal to 11 multiply sine 59 degrees divided by sine 50. So these are in degrees. So remember, I'm working in degrees. If they give me the angle in radians, then I will change the mode. So I will make sure that the mode is in degree before I continue solving. So now I will solve that. Throw them in my calculator. So 11 multiply sine 59 degrees plus parentheses, hit enter, then divide by sine of 56 degrees close parentheses, and I'll hit enter. So my answer is approximately 11.37. So let me look. Those two answers look like, all right. Okay, almost 11.37. So the missing, did I find C twice? Okay, did I find C? I'm not supposed to find C twice. Okay, I should be finding B. Okay, no wonder, because he gave me the same answer. That's a long. All right. Okay, I'll be looking. I should be looking for B. Sorry. Okay, I should be looking for B. No wonder, because I've got the same number. I was wondering. All right. So I'm looking for B, side B. Okay. And the, to find side B, then I am what about side B is equal to, then I can use A over sine A. Give me for that. All right. Then plug in. Okay. Sine B. So this is A over sine A. Okay. And I want to put in what the B is. B over sine B. Let's get sine B. So this is 60 degrees. Sine 65 degrees. I was wondering why the two answers are the same. Okay. So 11 multiplied sine 65 degrees divided by sine 50 degrees. So now I'm going to get a calculator. And I will, okay. So now I have 11 multiplied sine 65 degrees. 11 multiply sine of 65 degrees plus parentheses equal to, what did I divide? It doesn't make sense. It's supposed to be multiply. Okay. Then divided by sine 56 degrees plus parentheses. All right, so that makes more sense. So the missing side B is equal to approximately 12.03 to 2 decimal places. And my answer should be in meters. 12.03 meters. Okay, now I have found all the missing angles and sides. All right, I don't think we need to do another one. I think we need to do another one, but let me see. So you'll be told to solve a triangle. I'm sure it's in the test. Want to make sure that we clear the things that we already have there. And then I will produce the practice test for your class tomorrow. And then when we come on Thursday, we meet on Thursday again. Friday will be test number 3 and I moved it because it's not fair to just meet one day. Okay. Determine the remaining sides and angles of the triangle where A is equal to that, B is equal. Do not draw the triangle. So we draw the triangle to draw it. This is a sketch. So and I'll name this angles. And my sketch may not look like the. So this is 105.16 degree. 105.16 degree. All right, and this angle B is 25.84 degrees, and the side B is 240. Side B is 240 given to us. Then I can find, I'm trying to find all the missing sides and angles. So I might as well start from B. So angle sum of a triangle is 180 degrees. So I can find B quickly. So I will just subtract 180 degrees minus 105.16 and minus again 25.84, and then whatever remains is the measure of angle B. So the measure of angle B is 49. So this one right here is 49. Okay. Okay, so now I have only one out of, remember I'm solving a triangle. So I am solving a triangle, and I can as well put it in there, but I can make my own box or circle, whatever I want to make, a circle or a box, that way. So the measure of angle B is 49 degrees. Okay, and now that I have measure of angle B, I'm looking for the measure of angle A and the measure of angle, not angle, I mean side B. So this is side B, this is side A. Actually, A, B, C. That makes more sense. Makes more sense. Come on. Okay. All right. So B is 20. I want to make sure I write B with the way where it should be. So this is B, 25.84. And then they did not give me C. I found C. Okay. So the measure of angle C. That's what I've been. No. Okay. So the measure of angle C is 49 degrees. Okay. So the next thing I want to find is the measure of angle C, measures of side C, measure of side C. So C over sine C is equal to B over sine B, B over sine B. And I don't have C. All right, so I am looking for C. So I have C over sine C, sine of 49 degrees. Is equal to B is 240 given to me over sine B. Sine B is 25.84. Then I will now find the measure of side C. So the measure of side C is equal to 240 multiply sine 49 degrees, 49 degrees divided by sine of 25.84. In my calculator, my 25.84, and then close parentheses, and then the side is 415 to 2 decimal places, 415.57 is the measure of size C. And so I'm going to put it in there. So measure of size C is 415.57. Okay, C is equal to 415.57. All right. The next thing I want to find, I have found one angle, found one side. So there is a missing side, and that missing side is side A. Side A is not given to me. Okay, so I'm just going to write an equation for sine A, for that A. And A is equal to B over sine B. I'm going to rewrite it. The sine A given to me, sine A is 105.14. So let's put it in there. So 105.16. And sine B, let me move a little bit, 25.84, 25.84, 25.84, and this is 240. So now we can solve for A. Therefore, A is equal to cross multiply here, 240 multiply sine 105.16 105.16 divided by sine 25.84. And get a calculator as usual. Missing side. Now you have finished. Now you have finished finding the missing side. So, and as soon as we do cosine rule, we do a parallelogram rule using cosine rule, and then we get into vectors. I know we probably have enough time to get to them, and so that next class we try and review. And then we review whatever we didn't touch in 11.6, 11.5. Okay, so I am now going to to PowerPoint for cosine rule. PowerPoint for cosine rule. Come on. All right, it's coming. It's just slow. PowerPoint for cosine rule is, I'm not sure why it's not moving, but if it's not moving, I can go ahead and write cosine rule. Let's get to cosine. I'm going to be waiting for it to come, but we're not going to be theta in the triangle. Do not use a calculator. We have already done something like that. The triangle draws is shown here. Find theta. So we can be, if I'm given three, I'm going to write the cosine rule without wasting time because I don't know where this is not moving. Well, so if we have three kinds of cosine rule. So cosine rule, and then we go back to PowerPoint as soon as you can pull up. Cosine rule, there are 3 of them actually. Same. All right, so a squared, by the way, if triangle, that is capital letter A, capital letter B, and this is C. A squared, if I'm looking for A, then A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2B cosine of A, side I'm looking for. If I'm looking for B squared, then I'll my cosine of B. And then if I'm looking for side C, C squared is equal to A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine of C. Cosine of C. Okay. And then if I'm given 3 sides of a triangle, and like in this question now, I'm given 3 sides of a triangle. So there's no way I can solve this problem unless I use cosine rule. So we can actually solve one of these. Let's solve one of these for cosine, because I could be told to find an angle like this now. So I'm going to be solving solving for angle A. So I'm going to pull up the formula for A and solve for angle A. Okay, suppose I am going to be solving for angle. In other words, I'm given 3 sides of a triangle, I cannot use sine rule. If I'm given 3 sides of a triangle, I cannot use sine rule. Okay, so imagine that I'm given, so let me first of all write A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of the side. So now I want to solve for cosine of A. So I'm going to throw everything on the left-hand side to the right. So I would write A squared minus C squared. We can only derive of them. Negative 2BC cos A change on the left-hand side. So divide by negative 2BC, divide by negative 2BC. So I'll end up having right here the cosine of angle A is equal to, I'm going to change sign in the numerator here. So I have cosine of angle A will be equal to B squared plus C squared, sign change, minus A squared all over 2BC. Okay, so we derived one formula, and we are going to, from here, find others. This is the formula I will use, cosine rule, if I'm given a triangle with all 3 sides given to me and I'm not given an angle. Okay, I can actually do this using what is called Heron's formula. We're going to talk about Heron's formula. Very soon we shall talk about Heron's formula because I know it's already in that test. Okay, so what if I want us to know, look at what happened. Cosine of A is equal to B squared plus C squared. So the sides that are not A minus A squared. So if I'm looking for cosine A, then it's going to be minus A. So let me go ahead and write for cosine of B also. So when I'm told to look for cosine of B, then it will be A squared plus C squared minus B squared over 2AC. 2AC. If I'm looking for cosine of C, then I will make sure that C is not in the first ones that have A squared plus B squared minus C squared. We found all the 6 formula. We found them. They're not in your formula sheet, but you have to find them somewhere in the book. The cosine rule and sine rule are not in the formula sheet. We don't give them formula sheet, but we are going to find them. Section 11.1, 11.2, and then, okay. So now let's go and solve that triangle. So let's go and solve the triangle where we are told to find, let's go and find that, solve that triangle. Now we know the formula. We can go and, so whenever I'm given a triangle, right here is a candidate, and you will not be told though. Sometimes you will not be told. Sometimes you will not be told. You have to figure it out by yourself. Okay. So number 15, we already know it is cosine rule, a candidate for cosine rule. Why? Because I'm given 3 sides of a triangle. I'm not given any angle. And I cannot just start measuring them. I cannot guess them. By the way, I want you to notice that the triangle is actually an isosceles right triangle. It's not a right triangle, but it's isosceles. So if I can get this angle, I actually know all the angles. Do you notice that 2 sides of that triangle are equal? So the only thing I need to find is angle theta. So let's name this triangle A, B, C. And I'm looking for cosine of A. Cosine of A, angle A. So I will have B squared plus C squared minus B squared. Why? Because I'm looking for cosine of A divided by 2BC. So this is the formula. This is the formula that I need. And nobody will tell you the formula you need. You have to figure that out. Nobody's going to tell you the formula and it's not in the formula sheet. But you have to figure it out. We don't give formula. We don't give cosine rule, sine rule, and we don't give the angle between 2 vectors. When we get to vectors, we're not going to be giving you formula for angle between 2 vectors. Modulus of a vector, magnitude and direction. You have to figure that out. That's why we need to do them first. Make sure we'll have time to review them before the test. Okay. All right. So now I know what I'm looking for. And so this is A. This is small a. Small a. The angle is A. This is small a. This is B. This is small b. The right things there. So I'm looking for cosine of the angle A. All right, so B squared, 7 squared, plus C squared, 7 squared, minus A squared, and A squared is 5 squared, all over 2BC, 2 multiply 7 times 7. Okay, So remember, I'm looking for an angle. All right, so now I want to simplify the right-hand side. So simplifying the right-hand side, I have squared is 49 plus 49 all over 49 times 49 multiplied by 2. All right, so we quickly put this in here. 2 multiplied. So I have 98. All right, I'm going to find everything here and then find the cos inverse, the cosine inverse of that quantity. I can do them together. But anyway, let me just bring down cosine A. Okay, so I hope you know that cosine, the number for cosine cannot be more than 1. So when I finish solving this problem, and if the right-hand side is, it better not be more than 1. Okay, so I'll get my calculator. Get my calculator in there. 49 plus 49 minus 25. And that's what I have. 49 plus 49 minus 25. That's what I have in the numerator. Then I divide by 98. Whatever the answer is, divide by 98. So now remember, I said if the quantity is greater than 1, then we shall say no solution, because the range of cosine is from -1. A problem for sine, and you have 1 sine of an angle is 1.2. I'll do cos inverse. I'm finding this angle in degree. So let me go to my mode and make sure that mode is in degree. Okay, I'm solving in degree. So second quit. So now cos inverse, second cosine, cos inverse of this quantity, second answer, close parenthesis. So I found the answer. To 2 decimal places, I have 41.8. 41.85 is the answer for 41.85. So I'm going to go up. So that angle is 41.85. 4.85 degrees. They are the base angle congruent because they are the base angles of an isosceles triangle. So 180 minus 45, 40. Did I write it? It was not 45 or 41. Okay, 41.85 angles of an isosceles triangle. So I will get my calculator again, put that in. Minus 41.85. I have an answer. Then divide that answer by 2 because they are the base angles of an isosceles triangle. So that is 69.08 to 2 decimal places. or to the nearest hundred. 69.08. So the angles are 69.08 twice and 41.85. Okay. Oh, a triangle truss is shown. Find the angle theta. Well, we're only told to find angle theta, but very soon we shall be told to solve the triangle. Solve the triangle. We're not in vectors yet. So let's look for solving triangle. We're not in vectors yet. I guess vectors will be everything here. All right. Okay, now let me go to the homework 11.2. Okay, 11.2, that is cosine rule, the law of cosines. Okay, and I'm going to, so we are working on cosines now. Find the length, find the exact length, this is number one, of the unknown side of the triangle below. And in this one, we can actually use the sine rule. Can use the sine rule, but it says, find the exact length of the unknown side. Is there any, oh, there's an unknown side. Okay. That's why I have to use a cosine. All right, so the exact length, I don't have another angle. So see, I have an included angle here. This is an included angle, and I don't have any other angle. So this is a candidate for cosine again, because I don't have any other angle, and I have only two sides. Okay, so I'm looking for side A. So A squared is equal to B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of A. So I already know that this is, I call this A because the opposite side is A. I call this B, I call this C. And they only told me to find A, so it's not a difficult question. All right, so now that I have A squared equal to B squared plus C squared, now this is A squared right here. Do not use calculator. So B is given to me as, I'm going to use 5 here, 5 squared plus 8 squared minus 2 times 5 times 8 cosine of 60 degrees. Because I can be told to have an exact answer, because actually cosine of 60 degrees is 1/2. So it's not a big deal. So if I put 1/2 in there, right here, and then I can now, this 2 will cancel this 2 here, because this is now 1/2. Okay. So 5 squared is 25. 8 squared is 64 minus 5 times 8. So let me go ahead and throw them into my calculator. All right. So I have a 25 plus okay, and then minus 5 multiply 8. And then I have 40. So 40 is what I have, but I have A squared is equal to 40. If A squared is equal to 40, I have to find the square root of A, square root of 40. Therefore, A is equal to square root of 40. A is equal to square root of 40. It's not plus or minus, because I cannot get a negative. So square root of 40, is 4 times 10. And they told me to leave my answer in exact form. I can't forget that. So A is equal to square root of 4 times 10. They said there should be no decimal. So A is 2 root 10. A is 2 root 10. Even though they told me not to use my calculator, you have to use your brain. All they want is that your answer should not be in decimal, but wherever you can, your answers will be in. Does not have any angle given to us. So this is another candidate for cosine rule. When I'm given all three sides of a triangle, it is for cosine rule. So for this triangle, I'm actually told to find all the missing angles. For question number 3, I'm told to find all the missing angles. This is homework for tonight. Oh, by the way, I will open that homework. I'll open the homework that is closed so that you have enough time to do the homework. So the homework will close a day to the final exam. And we'll have time to pick them up. Any questions so far in the cosine rule? We now want to solve a triangle in cosine rule. Solve a triangle. Okay? Question, somebody? I hope you can still see the board. Somebody say.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. All right. So I have to start somewhere. I don't have any of the angles. So I have to start from angle A. If I'm looking for angle A, so I can say cosine of angle A. Remember, it is A. So I'm going to be B squared plus C squared minus A squared. Remember, we derived it this afternoon. We just derived it over 2B. We just derived it. Okay. And which one is A? I want to make sure that I write which one is A. Write C. That's B. Okay, now I have to substitute. Okay. So cosine of A is equal to the B squared 50. That's another isosceles triangle. Okay. How do you see? This is 15. Minus 16 squared all over 2 times 15 times 15. All right, you can put all of them if you like. You can actually write cos inverse of all this at a time. So now I will get, so cosine of angle A is equal to the quantity in the right-hand side. So I'll get my calculator now. I'll get my calculator and I'll put everything in the right-hand side, my calculator. So I'm going to clear 15 squared. Let me get a parenthesis that way. Parenthesis 15 squared. That's supposed to be squared there. 15 squared. All right. Plus 15 squared. That's numerator. Close parenthesis divided by, open parenthesis again, 2 multiplied by 15, multiplied by 15 again, close parenthesis, and then I will enter. So that is not more than 1. That answer will make sense. Then I'll find the cosine inverse. Cosine inverse, cosine inverse of that answer, second answer, close parenthesis. I hit enter. I'm working in degrees. So the cosine of that angle is 64.46. So the angle A, or the measure of angle A, for but we are solving a triangle, so we can as well use what they have. So this is 64.46. I wanted to make sure you know you're solving in degree, so the mode must be in degree. I think I've said it before, but don't forget that the mode must be in degree. The measure of angle A is 64.46. Then if I get the angle B, I know that angle B and angle A are equal. So now angle A, because so I have one angle there. So that is, let me see what number it is. What number is that? Okay. So I found an angle. An angle A is 64.46. Now I am going to find another angle, whichever one I like. But guess what? Now that I found this angle 64, I don't even need, because it's an isosceles triangle. So what I can do is 180 minus that angle, Vertex angle. So 180 minus 64.46. So that's not going to be a big deal. I get an answer. Divide that answer by 2 to get the base angles of that isosceles triangle. So it doesn't require using. So anyway, let's do another one. We are going to use a combination of sine, cosine, and sine. So there are times we have to use both cosine and sine to solve the problem. All right. So we are going to another number. Hopefully after this number, we go and do parallelogram rule. We need to do, and then we go to vectors. Do as much as we can do on vectors so we can finish with vectors next class. It's important. It's important that we do vectors because vectors is in this unit. Very important that we do it. Okay, we can do this number. We are given a triangle and we are told to solve the triangle. I find all the missing angles and sides. So I am going to draw the triangle and I'll label it. Label the triangle. Come on. B, C, and side A is equal to 0.18 inches. Side B and angle B is given to me also 78.05 degrees. Side C is given to me and that is 6.898 inches. As side C, I don't have angle C and I don't have angle A. Okay, so I have one angle and I want you to note this. I hope you remember your geometry. I want you to know that the angle given to me is an included angle. Whenever I have an included angle on two sides, then it is a candidate for cosine rule. So two important candidates for cosine rule when you are given all the three sides and no angle, and you are given an included angle. Because see, if I use sine, I don't have the opposite to the given angle, so I cannot continue. So I'm going to use cosine rule. I have angle B, so I'm looking for side B. Squared. All right, so the quantities on the right that I know, I'll put them in. A is 7.3. C is 6.8. 7.308 multiply 6.898 of 78 degrees and 5 minutes. All right. Okay, so let me put all these things in my calculator. So I'm going to put all this in my calculator. Make sure that I put all the angles the way they should be. All right. Okay, so we are doing number 4. So let's go ahead and simplify. Put them all in our calculator. So b squared is equal to, I'm going to simplify the right-hand side and let her find the square roots. Okay, so I get my calculator and I put in the right-hand side. So I would like to start with parentheses, clear. I'm going to start with parentheses. Parentheses squared, my a squared is 7.308. 7.38 plus 6.898 squared minus 2 times 7.308 multiply 6.898 6.898. All right, then multiply cosine of 78.05. Cosine of 78.05. Don't forget to check the mode. Make sure that the mode is in degree. And then when I finish, I'll eyeball what I typed in. Human beings make mistake. If I can catch mistake now, okay. So then I will hit enter. And that is the big number that I have. Does that really make sense? Let's see. Does that make sense? All right, I see where it is doesn't make sense. So I'm going to bring this down because this should be plus, because I got a number that is a whopping. Okay, so I'm going to bring down, second enter. So there should be an addition sign somewhere. That's why we have to eyeball what we typed in. So I want to eyeball what I typed in. Want to see that it's correct. Yeah, see what I'm saying? Before this place, there should be some suspect. That big number shouldn't be true. All right. Okay. Now, makes sense. The answer I got right now makes sense. All right. So I want to find the square root of this number. The value of b is the square root of this number. So square root of my previous answer, close parenthesis, hit enter, 8.95 to 2 decimal places. And it has to make sense because remember that one of the basic rules of triangle is that the sum of two sides must be greater than 1. The sum of two sides must be greater than one side. So if I get one giant number and the sum of two sides is no longer greater than one number, then it becomes a problem. Okay, by the way, so we found a missing side, and that missing side is 8.95. So we go to the box, 8.95. The value of B is 8.95. 8.95. I think I want you to see that we actually started with working with cosine, but we don't have to continue. We don't have to continue because now I know I know two sides, and I can actually use a sine rule. So I'm going to use sine rule. Okay, we know we found 8.95. Because I have found B, I can use sine rule to find A combination of sine and cosine this time. So when you're solving a triangle, you don't have to use only cosine rule. So I'm going to use sine rule to solve for another angle. Okay, so I can solve for another angle. If I find another angle, then I find the other side. Okay, so quickly use sine rule to find angle A. I'm using sine rule to find angle A now because now it's no longer an included angle only. Okay, so I also have another side. So I can now say, I can find any angle. So I can say A sine A. I'm looking for sine A. So I can isolate sine A immediately here. So sine A sine over B. You see, I'm looking for sine A. I'm looking for sine A. Let me write it in a way that it's not going to. Okay, looking for sine A, B, but I know B already. B sine A, B multiplied by sine A is equal to A multiplied by sine B. Sine B. Okay, and I don't know sine A, so I'll divide all through by B. I already have B. I have B. So I have sine A is equal to, what is my A? A is 7.308 multiplied by sine B. What is my Sine B is 70.05, 70.05, all divided by B, 8.9. Okay, 95. So I get my calculator quickly. Plug in the right hand side. 7.308 multiplied by 70 point. And by the way, that is an angle B. So let's see. Okay, sine A equal to, let me see what I think here I want to make sure that okay, this is my numerator 7, cannot be 17. Okay, multiplied by sine B. Multiplied by sine B. Sine of 78.05. 78.05. My mode is in degree. And I'm going to close parentheses. Okay. Then divided by 8.95. Divided by 8.95. 8.95. And then I will get an answer. That answer should not be more than 1. If that answer is more than 1, we declare no solution because the range of sign cannot be more than 1. The range of sign starts from -1 to 1. From unit circle, the range of sign starts from -1 to 1. The range of cosine from -1 to 1. Now I want to find the sine inverse of that ratio. Sine inverse, second sine inverse of the ratio I just found of that angle, close parenthesis. So the angle is 53.02 approximately. Okay, so this is cosine rule, and I think we can combine them. So we have actually solved. So let's get Heron's formula. But I'm looking for area. Find the area of the triangle by Heron's formula. Okay. Okay. Well, this one may not be Heron's angle in question. Find the area of the triangle. So I have A, B, C. The angle here is 12.2 degrees. The side B is 10.8. Side C is 6.6. They're all in meters. And the area of a triangle can be written as area equals to half AB sine C. Half AB sine C. So do I have AB? Okay, so this is my B. This is my C. So this time I can say half BC sine A. Half BC sine A. I want you to know, for you to use this formula, half AB sine C or half BC sine A or half AB sine C. Before you use any of this area formula, you must be given two sides and an included angle. Two sides and an included angle. So these two sides given to you are holding the angle you have. So let me plug in and find the area of that triangle. The sides are in meters. Therefore, the area will be in meters squared. Sides are in meters. Area will be in meters squared. Okay. So I'm going to plug in what I have. Area A is equal to 1/2 the size that I'm given. So I'm given 6.6 multiply 10.8 half AB multiply sine of A sine A half BC sine A. So I got 12.2. Then I get a calculator, half BC sine A. Get a calculator. I'm going to clear. I can make half as 1.5. So 0.5 multiply 6.6. 6.6 multiply 10.6 multiply sine 12.2 degrees. Make sure you work in degree mode. Don't screw yourself up. Sine close parenthesis, and the area is 29.66 meters squared, because it's a meter squared. How many? Oh my goodness, it's almost 2 o'clock. Oh my goodness. Okay, well, that's why I made sure that the test is not tomorrow. Okay, next class we will work on vectors. Today we did a sine and cosine formula. Next class we shall do vectors. Vectors will be one class. And vectors is 11.3. Okay, so vectors will 11.3. And then we will, vectors will be 11.3. We're doing our best though. We're doing our best. There are too many things to do, but we can get vectors done next class.